purpose today, though, is to hear from a gentleman who started an organization called Steered Straight. It's about making good decisions. This might not seem like something applies to everybody. You might sit here and why are they telling me this? The reason is because at some point you're going to have choices to make. Some of you are going to hear what's being talked about and you're like, oh, this is hitting home a lot and I'm going to try to fake it and act like it's not. All right? You're going to hear some things that you definitely know about for many of you. All right? So this is about us being as a school together. This is about being able to enjoy something. It's also about being able to learn something and to show that we can handle being in a big space and that we can be respectful and we can participate when we're asked to. All right? So your behavior needs to be completely locked in with this. It was an exciting day with knowing that this was coming. So that brings change, and that's tough on a middle schooler, adult, and student. But you guys are going to handle this well, and you're going to take away a lot from this, okay? So when you get home, what'd you do at school today? The answer's going to be a heck of a lot different than normal because of the things you're going to learn today. My pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Mike DeLeon. Say hi, Mike. Perfect. He's going to talk at you now. I'm going to turn it over to him. Your attention needs to be great. I can't have you talking to each other during this performance right now, which is something I see right now happening that shouldn't be. So we're going to show that we know how to behave in this setting. Completely good. Mr. DeLeon, thanks so much for bringing your time, talent, and treasure to us.
100%.
All right? That's it.
How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Just kidding. Where's the sixth graders at? Where's the sixth graders at? Yo, where's the seventh graders at? Yo, is the fifth graders with me? No, eighth graders. Eighth graders? Where's the eighth graders? Ah, 6, 7, 8. Yo, who's cooler, 6, 7, or 8? Yo, who has the cooler teachers though? Just a second. Y'all get extra credit. All right, 6. I see you, man. I see it. All right, listen. I appreciate it. My name is Michael DeLeon. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I travel all around the country, and I speak to high school, middle school students, sometimes elementary school, sometimes college. And I came to talk to you about life. I came to talk to you today about life. And I want you to know something. Life comes down to 2 things and 2 things only. That's your choices and your decisions. Doesn't matter how educated you get, doesn't matter how much athletic ability you have, doesn't matter how much money your family has. Where you grow up doesn't determine where you end up. Where you end up is determined on the choices and the decisions that you make. And so you got to make the best choices and the best decisions. I want you to know the importance of the adults who work in your school, the teachers, the counselors, the coaches, the administrators. I want you to know how important they are. And I want you to understand something, that if you're ever struggling with something, if you're ever dealing with something, it's a little hard, that you have people to talk to. How many of y'all in this room, for real, you dealt with some tough stuff in your life? How many of y'all dealt with, okay. How many of y'all guys are dealing with some tough stuff right now in your life? So, you're going on some break maybe, right? Summer break, the weekend. Here's a phone number. I know you're not gonna remember it, so I put it on bracelets, and these amazing students right here, we're gonna hand it out on your way out. This number is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I want you to talk to your teachers, your counselors. I want you to talk to your parents. Look, man, maybe the problem's at home. Maybe you got something that you're dealing with at home. So if it's the weekend, you can't get to your counselor, if it's the spring break or summer break and something's going on, someone's putting their hands on you, they shouldn't put their hands on you. And listen, from first grade, we learned some very simple principle. Keep your hands what? to yourself that not everybody obeys that. So if someone you know is being abused or something's going on, you can call that number. There's therapists and doctors and master's level counselors, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can text it, call it, you can chat 24/7. I wanted to give you that resource because I never had anything like that. When I found it, I said to myself, I wish I had that when I was in middle school. I had my teachers, I had my coaches, I had my principal, and I didn't let them help me. I wouldn't talk to them. I didn't tell anybody what was going on in my life. And because of my choices and because of my decisions, I ended up in a really bad place. This prison cell is where I spent the last 5 of my 12 years in prison. I did 12 years in prison, from 1995 to 2007. I'm telling you right now, I didn't go there for good choices. I went there for bad choices, and my bad choices began in 5th grade. I was 11 years of age. I was 11 years of age and I was introduced to drugs and alcohol. And I became a full-blown drug addict, destroyed my life. And I ended up in prison. This wasn't supposed to be my story. This wasn't supposed to be where I ended up. My teachers didn't raise me to become a criminal, a convict, a drug addict, a gangbanger. My parents didn't raise me to become that way. I became that way because of my choices and my decisions. I'm telling you right now, your choices and your decisions are going to change the rest of your life. And in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, if you don't think your choices are important, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. Your choices are very important. When I was in prison, at this last prison, I was at a place called East Jersey State Prison. They nicknamed it Rahway because it's in Rahway, New Jersey. And I was at that prison. We call it the dungeon, the prison in the middle. That's where I was for the last 5 years of my incarceration. And there was a program going on at the prison called Scared Straight. Have any of you ever heard of Scared Straight before? Whoa. How many of you have ever watched a television show beyond Scared Straight on A&E television? A couple of you. So I did that TV show for 5 seasons. It was on television on A&E for 9 seasons. I did the first 5, and then I quit. I'll tell you why in a minute. But when we launched that show in 2011, this was the poster we used for season 1. The kid in the middle of that poster, he was in the 3rd episode, but that's the poster we used to launch the show. And if you never heard of this program, or you never heard of this TV show, let me just explain it to you. In the middle of this poster is a kid. He's 12. His name's Johnny. Johnny was a 12-year-old little gangster, okay? Like, he was running the middle school in his mind. This kid was getting high, and he was selling drugs in school. And he was breaking into people's houses, and he was getting arrested. He went to juvenile detention center, and he got on probation. And he kept mouthing off to his principal, mouthing off to his teacher, and disrespecting the adults in his life. And his father sat him down. He said, listen, Johnny, you're on the wrong path, kid. You stay on this path, you're gonna end up in prison one day. So I was like, yeah, Dad, whatever, I'm 12. You don't think it's gonna happen to you? So every Wednesday and every Saturday, groups of kids will be brought into the prison. And there's a group of men like me, we're supposed to scare the kid, yell, threaten, scream at him. I'm gonna get you, kid. You come in here, you're gonna die. So Johnny's all scared, he wets his pants. Ah! And at the end of the television show, raise your hand if you saw that TV show again. At the end of the television show, we have this last commercial break, and we come back, and there's a 90-second narration. A guy called the narrator, he's giving you the update on all the kids that were in the episode. And the narrator's like, little Johnny is doing his homework and listening to his mommy now. And you're like, yeah, sure he is. Come on. You took him into prison for a couple of hours and yelled at him and it changed his life? By a show of hands, how many in this room think you could bring a kid like that, get him high, get him in trouble, commit crime? How many think you could bring a kid like that into prison, scream and yell at him for a couple of hours, and he changes his life instantly? How many think that works? A couple of you. How many don't think that works at all? Look at the hands. So, just so you know, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer. If you raise your hand saying it works, that's cool. It would work for you for sure. Like, you'd walk into the prison going, wait a minute, this is what's coming my way if I don't change? Okay, I'm changing, right? But 80% of all the kids who came into that program ended up in prison themselves. 80% of them. And 15% of them, they died before their 18th birthday. They brought kids into that prison at 9, 10, 11, 12 years of age, and 15% of them died of a stabbing, or a shooting, or a drug overdose. By the time they were 18, they were dead. And 80% of them went to prison. So does it work? 95% of the kids who came into that program, it didn't work. So why would I want to do something that doesn't work? I don't. I don't want to do something that doesn't work. I want to make a difference. So I want what happened to me not to happen to you. But there's not a student in this auditorium that thinks that's a possibility. Please do not raise your hand because you're some class clown, you're looking for some attention. No way. Get it somewhere else. Serious question. Serious question. Who in this auditorium hopes they end up in prison like I did? Who hopes they end up in prison? Anybody? Okay. I said no class clowns. I said no class clowns. Who in this room wants to end up in prison for real, raise your hand. Not one hand. Who wants to be a drug addict, homeless on the street, living in Buffalo on the street, living in a box under a bridge? Anybody? Not one person. By a show of hands, how many of y'all in this auditorium know someone in your life who's negatively affected their life with drugs or alcohol? Of course. How many of y'all in this room know someone who, because of drugs and alcohol, they went to jail before? How many of y'all know someone who went to jail because of drugs and alcohol, but then they got out? Then they went back on drugs and alcohol again and went back to jail again? How many of y'all know people who, because of drugs and alcohol, they continue to ruin their life, but then they continue to use drugs and alcohol? And how many of y'all in this auditorium know someone who's died from drugs or a drug overdose? If that doesn't break the heart of every adult in this room, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. So, New York is the second highest state in America for losing people to fentanyl poisoning. How many of y'all ever heard of fentanyl before? Okay, so it's a poison. It's a drug, but it's a poison, and it's killing people. And New York is the second highest state in America for dealing with it, losing people to fentanyl poisoning. And I want to stop it, but I can't. I can't. Gosh, but you can. 6th graders, you are the last year of Gen Z. 6th, 7th, 8th graders, you're the last 3 years of Gen Z. You're the last 3 years of your generation. And I'm telling you right now, you're the 3 years. I'll say freshmen too, 9th grade. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th graders, the last 4 years of Gen Z, you're the ones that are going to save the world. I mean it. You're the last hope we have. You're the last hope we have. And you guys are being lied to. You're being straight up lied to. And never before in the history of our country has an entire generation been so systemically lied to until you. And I need to tell you the truth. So that's why I came to talk to you. I beg you to listen to me. I really do. Now, I want to know, how many of you guys know a high school kid, and it doesn't have to be Hamburg, it doesn't have to be this high school, could be Frontier, could be anywhere, could be Buffalo. How many of you guys know a high school kid who drinks alcohol? How many of y'all know a high school kid who drinks alcohol? How many of you guys know a high school kid who vapes? Oh my gosh. How many of you guys know a middle school kid who vapes? Look at that. The most hands. How many of you guys know an elementary school kid who's vaping? Look at that. Look at that. Huh. A little 3rd grader with an elf bar, huh? So, wow, that was actually crazy. So, alcohol, nicotine, and marijuana, right? You guys think it's funny. I get it. I was in Idaho in August of 2020. I was in a big auditorium just like this. It was full of high school kids. We did the presentation. They were back in school already in August of 2020. Not, COVID was still going on, I guess, but they got their kids back in school. So I did this presentation, and the high school kids walked out of the presentation after it was over, and I hear over the loudspeaker, the middle school principal says, "Middle school kids, line up. You're going to the high school auditorium for the vaping assembly." And I was like, it's not a vaping assembly. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the middle school kids all line up, and there's a hallway that connects both buildings, and they're walking down the hallway. And this 8th grader on the way, he dips into the bathroom real quick to hit his vape. He's going to a vaping assembly. And he goes into the bathroom to hit his vape on the way. Now I had to go to the bathroom at that very second. So I walk into the bathroom. When I walk in the bathroom, dude's got the vape in his mouth. He's hitting his vape when I walk in the bathroom door. He doesn't know who I am. He's looking at me like a deer in headlights. He's like, who is this guy? Now, I try to dress like an adult when I go to a school. I don't want to look like an adult. I don't want to be an adult, but that's another story. Ask my wife, she'll tell you I'm not an adult anyway, but I don't want to look like an adult when I go to school. So this kid's like, who is this guy? He turns, he's trying to hide his vape while he's looking at me, sticking it in his pocket, so I don't see it. But I already saw it. I was like, yo, kid, are you vaping? He's like, yeah. Mango. I was like, mango? Bro, did you just say mango? Yeah. Where do you get your flavored pods, kid? My older brother gets them for me. Why? He does? How old is he? He's 17. I go, kid, how old are you? I'm 12. He flexed on me, yo. I'm 12. Oh my God, The Rock is up in here, everybody. It's Dwayne Johnson in the flesh. So I was like, what am I gonna say to this kid? What am I gonna say to this kid? What am I gonna say to this kid? He's like, oh, I'm 12. So I was like, all right, Schwarzenegger, have a nice day, bro. And I left. And I went back to do my presentation. So I'm talking to my wife about it that night on the phone. I told her what happened. She's like, you're kidding. A child vaping in school? Yeah, babe. A child vaping in school. She's like, oh my God. Well, I hope you took it. I said, took what? The vape. You took his vape, right? I'm not his father. I'm not a school official. I'm not going to take something from a kid I don't know. Well, I hope you went to the principal and got him in trouble. No. I went back to do my presentation, I told you. So my wife is like, I don't get it. I know, babe. I'll explain it to you when I get home, all right? She don't get it. My wife is so smart. 2 master's degrees, she's so smart. But she don't get it. You're 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, the smartest people on planet Earth. So I know you get it. Yes or no? If I took that kid's vape, yes or no? Would he have got another one? Yes! If I got him in trouble with the principal, would that have stopped him from vaping? No! Told you, you get it? So I just did the assembly. Dude walks right down the aisle of the auditorium at the end and he comes right up to me. He goes, can I talk to you? Yeah, Mango, come here, Mango, come here. What's up? Well, everything you told us, everything you showed us, I didn't know. I swear, I thought vaping was no big deal. He says, here, I don't even want it anymore. You take it. And he gave it to me. This is my clicker, right? It looked just like my clicker. It was a mango, it was a lava tube with a mango pod in the bottom of it. And I was like, you know, kid, you're my hero. You are my hero. You are so courageous. You know what? I'll get rid of it for you. I'll get rid of it for you. So I sat in my hotel room that night with this stupid vape on the table. And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? After every presentation, I'm gonna ask kids to give up their vapes. I'm gonna say, hey kids, at the end of this presentation, come up here and give me your vape. If you see what I'm about to show you, if you realize how much you've been lied to, if you understand how bad this ain't some flavored water. This is gonna become the #1 cause of death for your generation. And I'm not kidding. This is so bad, and America's not paying attention. If you feel you got a vape, and you feel that your life and your health and your future is more important than some stupid device, come give it to me. Walk up to me after the end of this presentation and give it to me. Kids are like, come on, bro. No one's gonna give you their vape. No one's gonna give you their vape. Well, last week I crossed 7,000. I've been handed 7,000 vapes from middle school, high school, elementary school kids in the last 36 months. 7,000 vapes. So, isn't that cool? Yeah. Because, you know why? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You're the smartest generation that's ever lived. You are the smartest, most intelligent generation that's ever lived. And here's the problem. You were lied to, and you are making decisions on bad, false lies. Information that's lies. So this morning, I had the privilege of doing 2 presentations to the high school kids, and after both presentations, I had a couple kids come up, and they gave me their vapes. Here's 4. Here's 5, here's 6. Let's see. Here's 7, here's 8. Let's see. Here's 9, here's 10. 10 vapes. 10 vapes. Yes or no? Are there more than 10 in the school? Are there other cool kids that didn't turn in their vapes? You think there's more than 10 vapes in this school? Okay. To me, there's only 3 reasons, only 3, why a kid wouldn't give up a vape. Number 1, you think you're gonna get in trouble. You ain't. Absolutely not. In fact, your principal could be standing right next to me, and you can come up and give me a vape right in front of your principal. In fact, you can come up and put it in your principal's hand, and you ain't getting in trouble. I'm telling you right now, you ain't getting in trouble. Now, if you go back to middle school or tomorrow, you're in the bathroom vaping, good luck, bro. Don't call me. Call a lawyer. Good luck to you. There has to be consequences to your actions. There's rules. Some kid said to me the other day, rules are made to be broken. Yeah. See you in juvenile detention center one of these days, kid. Rules were not made to be broken. Rules were made to be followed. You might not like all the rules. Go ask every teacher in this building. There's some rules they don't like. Go ask your parents. There's some rules they don't like. I don't like all the rules, but if you don't obey the rules, guess what? There's consequences. But if you give up a vape, you give up a vape to a middle school teacher tomorrow, a coach tomorrow, your principal tomorrow, you're not getting in trouble. If you give up a vape, you're not getting in trouble. And I mean that. The second reason why a kid won't give up a vape is you don't believe what I'm about to tell you. And that's fair. That's fair, because in America today, oh my God, what's the truth? How many of you believe the media lies to us? Yeah. How many of you believe the government lies to us? How many of you believe the government gets the media to tell us the lies that the government once told? So, what's the truth? I came to give you the truth, and I'm begging you to listen to me, because I have zero agenda. I don't even get paid. I personally don't even get paid to do this. I'm a filmmaker. I work on movies and music videos for everybody you ever heard of. I do commercials, I do full feature movies. I have no agenda. I get paid to do that, so I get up every single day and I get to do this. This is my life. I've dedicated my life to you. I've dedicated my life to you. I left home December 28th. I won't be home again until April 13th. I'll be home for 2 days, and I'm home in August for 2 days so far. And then I might not make it home till Christmas. Last year I wasn't even home for Christmas. I went into jails all Christmas week. I go to prisons and I talk to people. I have a program that I made for prisons. I spent 12 years in prison, so I understand what we need to hear and what we need to plan and do. So I go into prisons. And 75% of every woman in prison is a mother. And 60% of every man in prison is a father. So at the end of the day, who's really affected by their incarceration the most? Their children. So I want to change people. I want to help change the system. But I know that the only thing I can really accomplish is to work with you. I need you to listen to me. Please. If you got a vape, you can give it up. You ain't going to get in trouble. Please believe what I'm about to tell you. But I think the real reason why most kids won't give up their vapes, the real reason why more kids want that with their vapes than gave them to me, is because they're addicted. They're addicted. They're not going to give you a vape. They just go get another one. They're addicted. How many of you in this room know a kid who's vaping and you 100% believe they're addicted to it? Okay, now the man amounts of vapes. So, how many of you know a kid who's vaping and their parents have absolutely no idea they're vaping? How many of you know a kid who's vaping, not only does the parent know about it, the parent's fine with it? How many of you know kids whose parent buys the vape for the kid? Look at this. How many of you know kids who vape with their parents? So, you gotta be 21 to buy a vape in a store. 21. How many of you know stores that sell vapes to kids? How many of you know a place where a kid can buy a vape no problem? For real. Okay. So, how many of you know kids who gotta bring vapes to school? How many of you know a kid who's probably got a vape in their pocket right now? Okay. So, guess what? The school can't stop it. Your parents can't stop it. Law enforcement can't stop it. The retailers are not going to stop selling it. What do they care about? The tobacco industry is not going to stop making it. What do they care about? Do they care about your health? Do they care about your future? Do they care about your life? What do they care about? So who's going to stop this? Us, you. You're the only ones. Please listen to me. Please. You're the only ones that's going to stop it. Vaping will become the #1 cause of death in America. Right now, cigarettes is the #1 contributing cause of death in our country. Tobacco products is the #1 contributing cause of death in America and in the world. But vaping will surpass it. In 2015, I made a movie about marijuana legalization, and that was when I was introduced to vape for the very first time, 8 years ago. And I started screaming at the top of my lungs, this is gonna be a problem. And I made a movie about it. I worked on a documentary on Netflix about it. How many of y'all got Netflix? How many got Netflix? You should watch The Big Vape, The Big Vape on Netflix. The Big Vape, it's 4 episodes. You wanna know what the tobacco industry did? You wanna know what the federal government allowed them to do? It's a pretty intense documentary. They targeted you, and we have a problem. And the only ones that's gonna end this is you. So, how do I end up there? How did I end up in prison? That's the million-dollar question. So let me tell you where it began. I wasn't born in America. I was born in Ireland. And my family immigrated to this country when I was 5 years old. Now that is me on a horse at 3 years of age. Well, it ain't really a horse, it's a pony, but let's pretend. So I'm on this pony, right? And I fall off. My right knee's all skinned up. You can hardly see it, but my right knee's all skinned up because I fell off that stupid pony. And that's the day I learned the first lesson of my life. My father said, if you fall off the horse, son, you gotta do what? I didn't want to get back on. I was petrified. I was scared. I was so scared I didn't want to get back on. He picked me up and put me on that saddle, and I peed my pants all over that saddle. I wet my pants all over that saddle, man. That horse was mad. I was petrified, so scared I wet my pants. And everyone looks at the picture and goes, you don't look scared, look at you, you're smiling. That's what I did when I was scared. I'd smile, because I don't want you to know I'm scared. Who else does that? Who else does that? Of course we do. I was mad. If I was sad, I'd smile, because I don't want you to know how I feel. Who else does that? Who else does that? It's a defense mechanism. It's normal for so many of us. It's cool. I smiled because I was scared. Now listen, we were poor. See those pants? Those ain't pants. My mom found curtains in someone's garbage, and she sewed my pants out of trash. We were poor. We lived in a carriage with 4 wheels on it. We were gypsies. In Ireland, to this day, they call poor homeless people gypsies. We lived in a carriage with 4 wheels on it. And if we ever had to move the carriage, the donkey would move the carriage. We were poor gypsies. And my sister popped along, and my parents were like, we've got to get to America. So off to America we came. We scraped, they saved, they begged, they sold the stupid donkey, and we come to America. We get to America, 1969, I'm 5 years old, and my parents settled down in Pearl River, New York, a big Irish community. And then for some crazy reason, my parents decided, let's move to New Jersey. Who does that? Anyway, so we moved to New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, right? We were poor. First picture my father took when we got to New Jersey. That's the first picture my father took of me. This picture here, this is my 5th grade school picture with that bowl haircut that my mother gave me for our school picture. Hey, how many of you have ever heard of the bowl haircut before? Listen, I got so bullied over those haircuts, I got made fun of all the time because of those haircuts, and I didn't care. I didn't care. I smiled. See, that smile is real. I didn't care. You could bully me. We were poor. I didn't care. How many of you guys go back to school shopping every year and get new gear for school? That's cool. I never went back to school shopping a day in my life. The first time I ever put a new pair of kicks on my feet that were not on someone else's feet, the first time I took a tag off of an article of clothing in my entire life, I was out of high school. We didn't get electricity in my house until I was in the 8th grade. My mom didn't get indoor plumbing. We didn't have a bathroom until I was a sophomore in high school. We had an outhouse. At 3 o'clock in the morning, if you woke up and you had to pee in the middle of winter when it put a snow on the ground, guess what you had to do? Before you peed, you had to shovel. You had to get your way to the outhouse. Okay? We didn't have no shower. We didn't even have a tub. We didn't have a bathroom. We had a basin outside under an awning. And if you wanted a hot bath, you had to boil it with the kettle and then take it and pour it into the tub. And we only had 1 kettle, so guess what? It was never hot, it was warm. That's why I never missed a day of school. That's where the showers were. I never took a shower in my life outside of school until I was a sophomore in high school. That's why, well, that's not the only reason I never missed school. That's also where I got breakfast and lunch. So I wasn't missing school. We were poor. I didn't care. You see that smile? The teachers used to call me the kid with the smile. I was the happiest kid in the world. My mother said to me, "Lad, how come you didn't close your lips for your school picture? Look at you, your chipped tooth is showing." I didn't care about that chipped tooth. I was the happiest little dude in the whole world. Now my tooth was chipped because my Uncle Seamus hit me in the mouth with a brick. On purpose. It got kind of rough. You know, I often hear people say, I don't know where my life changed. I know where my life changed. Right there. See, I was soft. I was a little baby, they said. I was kind. I loved everybody. I didn't like fighting, okay? It's hard to explain if you don't understand the history of Ireland. But I come from a lot of war and murder and killing, and I don't like fighting and I don't like war. I wish everybody just get along. Anybody else like that? Anybody else just wish the world everybody get along? Well, I was the kindest kid and I was the happiest little kid, but my uncle said, "You're too soft. You need to toughen up, kid. This is America. We're gonna make a man out of you." And that meant their fists on my face. They used to snatch me up in the yard when I was doing yard work, and my Uncle Mike would drag me to the garage by my hair. They threw a rope over the rafters in the garage and tied it around my neck, pulled me up onto a chair. I'd be hung to the ceiling and I'd be duct taped. And they cut the tape off my arm so I could pull myself up, and if I didn't do it fast enough for them, he'd kick the chair off underneath my feet, dangle me there until I passed out and laid down on the garage floor. I'd be there for hours. And I'd walk in my house at 8, 9 o'clock at night, my mom would be freaking looking for me. "Where have you been, lad?" Playing some, go to your room. So hungry, can I get some dinner? "Your brother and sister ate your dinner, lad. Off to your room." She wasn't mean. I lied to her face. I told her I was playing. They were her brothers beating me. If I told my mom what her brothers were doing, my uncles, she'd have put them out. But I didn't tell her. My uncle said they'd beat me harder if I ran my mouth. My teachers tried to help me. My counselor, my coach, my principal would be like, "Someone punch you? Your lip is split." Dodgeball. My teachers would say, "You have a black eye. Oh my God, did someone hit you?" Kickball. I lied. I lied to every adult. And that's why I wanted to give out that number. That's why I wanted you to know you can talk to anybody 24/7. But I didn't. I just should have asked for help, but I didn't. I just kept it to myself. And one day in 6th grade, one day in the 5th grade, May, the smile went away. I hung in there, I kept smiling through all the beatings, but I hung in there until May of 5th grade. I get off the bus. My father's in the driveway, he's packing up his car, he's getting ready to go on a business trip. I was like, I'm gonna find out where Daddy's going. So I run across the lawn, up the driveway, and I was like, Daddy, where are you going? Go ask your mother. Okay. When are you gonna be home, Dad? Go ask your mom. So I run the house, ask my mom where my dad's going. My mom's like, your daddy's going to divorce. Where's that, Mom? Is divorce far? She's like, Mikey, have a seat. You're gonna be going to your daddy's house every other weekend. And I'm looking at my mother like, this is Mommy and Daddy's house, I don't understand. Mom, where's divorce? See, I didn't know what the word divorce meant. I was a 5th grade Irish Catholic kid. The word divorce was not in my vocabulary. And I didn't know one single kid, I know this is gonna sound crazy to you, I didn't know one single kid in school, not one, whose parents were divorced. How many of y'all in this room know somebody whose parents are divorced? I hope the teachers are paying attention. Divorce is trauma, but it's not trauma anybody wants to discuss. By a show of hands, how many of y'all know a kid who's really affected because of the breakup of their family? How many of y'all know a kid whose mom and dad used to love each other like every day was Valentine's Day? Now the parents hate each other and the kid's caught in the middle. I was the kid caught in the middle. See, I had a great mom and a great dad, and they became the worst divorced parents in the world because they hated each other and they used the kids against each other. Anybody know parents that use kids against the other parent? Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, that's what happened to me, and I failed school. That kid right there is straight A's and perfect attendance award. And by 6th grade, the smile goes away, and I'm failing school. That's my 6th grade school picture. I'm failing school. I'm getting suspended every week for fighting. Man, I was fighting the principal. I was in trouble all the time, and everybody tried to help me. Everybody tried to help me. And I wouldn't let any of them help me. And then one day, Mom comes to pick me up suspended for fighting again, and the principal says, Mrs. De Leon, what's going on with you and your husband is affecting your child, his grades and his behavior, and he won't talk to any of us. You're gonna have to get someone to talk to your son. My mom's like, Dad, I'll take it out to get some counseling. And the principal says, very good idea. So my mom takes me to a trusted adult in our school district to get some counseling, and that trusted adult abused me for 3 years. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's why I love you guys the most. That's why I love this audience the most. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I was abused by a monster. There was 8 of us. 8 of us, 7 other kids in my school. You know, all I had to do was talk about it, but I didn't. I was ashamed. I didn't know what to say. I kept it to myself. I didn't feel anybody would care. I didn't feel anybody would listen. I was wrong. And all I had to do was talk to my counselor. All I had to do was talk to my counselor. My counselor, I'll never forget her as long as I live, my 6th grade counselor. Her name was Mrs. Kogan. This lady was the twin of Betty Boop. Like, she looked exactly like Betty Boop. She dressed like her and everything. She came to my class, 6th grade, she pulls me out of class, she puts me up against the wall in the hallway, and she leans down. She's like, Michael, how's it going at home? And I was like, I'm good. She's like, no, you're not. Talk to me, I'm your counselor, I'm here to help you. I'm good. Michael, stop. You're failing school, you're getting suspended every week for fighting. You used to be a perfect student, perfect grades. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. But I wasn't good. Everybody asked me how I was, and I said I'm fine. How many of y'all in this room been through some tough stuff in your life? How many of y'all ever tell the teachers, the counselor, your parents? How many of y'all ever tell the adults that ask you how you're doing that you're fine when you're not? You gotta stop that. How many of y'all ever say I'm okay when I'm not okay? Stop that. I'm telling you right now. If you learn nothing else from me, learn this. Every adult who works in this building, your middle school, every adult who comes to work every single day, they all care about you. You might not get along with all of them. You might not think all of them care. And let's be honest, maybe all of them don't. But guess what? Most of them do. That's why they become educators. They don't become educators to get rich. Did you? No. Did you become an educator to get rich? Have you ever been through some stuff in your life, young lady? Have you ever been through some stuff in your life, young lady? How about you? How about you? You been through some stuff? Have you had to overcome some stuff in your life to get to where you are, sir? Yeah. How about you? Of course. They've all been through stuff. They've all been through stuff. They're little geniuses. That's why they become teachers. They know everything. But there is nothing you can go through in Hamburg, New York. Nothing that they haven't been through. And if they haven't been through it personally, they know someone who has. Listen, the math, the science, what do you teach, young lady? Music. Oh my gosh. Who in this room plays a musical instrument? I love this school. If you don't play a musical instrument, pick one up. I don't care if it's a harmonica. Get a flute. Get some drumsticks. Listen, ask her, she's the expert. Music is the only thing in the world that fires every part of the brain. The only thing in the world that fires the entire brain. There's nothing else on earth. That's why God gave us music, okay? How many of you guys have used music to get through some stuff? How many of you guys got an artist that can get you through some tough times? You know, me too. Justin Bieber, just listen to Justin. What? Come on, man. Justin Bieber's the bomb, yo. Justin Bieber's the bomb. All right, what, Taylor Swift? Jelly roll. Godsmack. Five-finger death punch. Skillet. Anybody like Skillet? Tony Mac. It doesn't matter. But listen, there's this new artist. You guys are gonna love this guy. He's amazing. There's this new artist. You should listen to him. His name's Johnny Cash. And all right, he's not new, but he's the bomb, yo. Listen, I don't care if it's Morgan Wallen, Hardy, it doesn't matter. Music can help you get through stuff. I didn't pay attention. I didn't let anybody help me. I didn't use any good tools to help me. I just kind of went inside. I withdrew, and I got mad. My parents are divorced. I've been getting beat by my uncles. And one day I'm home suspended from school one day. And I walked out to the basketball courts in our neighborhood, and there's a bunch of grown men playing basketball in the middle of the day. And there's a boy named Jimmy. He's playing basketball with all these older guys. Jimmy is 17. He's the coolest kid in the whole neighborhood. And I'm sitting on this brick wall watching him play. And Jimmy comes over after the game. He grabs his towel off the wall, and he starts wiping all his sweat off his chest, head, and face. This towel was so disgusting he could have wrung it out. But he threw it in my face, and it wrapped all around my head. I threw it on the ground, and I started crying. His sweat was dripping off my nose and my chin. It was disgusting. And all I was doing was crying. And I guess Jimmy felt guilty about what he did, so he said, I'm sorry, little man, what's the matter? Nothing. Leave me alone, Jimmy. Leave me alone. Go away. Come on, kid, I'm so sorry. Come here. I was just kidding. Come here, I'm sorry. Talk to me, what's the matter, Nothing, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to anybody, but I needed to talk to someone. Let's see, counselor, teacher, coach, principal, parent, godparent, grandparent, aunts. I had so many people to talk to. But I didn't. I talked to Jimmy. I never told anybody anything about what I was going through. I told Jimmy everything, and he listens to me, and he turns around, he opens up his backpack, he pulls a pack of cigarettes out of it, throws a cigarette in his mouth, lights it, he takes a big drag, he blows it out, and he goes, here, kid, this will help calm your nerves. Calm my nerves, Jimmy, for real? Okay. Hey, Jimmy, what are nerves? I don't even know what nerves are, but I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, calm my nerves. Anyone ever heard an adult say they smoke cigarettes to calm their nerves? Stupid. It's a stimulant, it doesn't calm your nerves. But anyway, tell yourself whatever it is you have to tell yourself. I took that cigarette and I calmed my nerves. I smoked that cigarette, I smoked the second one. I smoked the third one. For like 12 to 15 minutes, I sat at that basketball court. I was 11 years of age, Jimmy was 17, and I smoked 3 cigarettes with him, and I forgot about everything for 15 minutes. And I'm walking out of the basketball court to go home, and he said, hey little man, we're having a party Friday, you should come. A party, Jimmy? And I can come for real? Hope there's gonna be ice cream, cake, and donuts there. But it wasn't that kind of party, you know what I'm saying? So I go to this adult house party, and I sit on a sofa in the middle of the living room. And this guy named Gary comes over, he's 21, he sits on a sofa next to me. He sits down and he goes, Jimmy told me what was going on with you, little dude. I feel so bad about what you're going through here. I hope this helps you. And in his hand was a brand new pack of cigarettes. I didn't even know how to get the cellophane open to open it. He opens it for me, he lights the cigarette, he gives me the lit cigarette. He hands me the pack and the lighter back. And I'm sitting on a sofa at a house party smoking a cigarette like I'm the coolest 11-year-old kid in the whole world. The guy across the living room, he's pouring alcohol for everybody at this party. And he's been watching me. So he fills a big solo cup up with alcohol, and he heads on over. Hey, little guy, it's time to become a man. And I don't think 11 is time to become a man. And alcohol doesn't make you a man. But I drank that cup of beer down like it was a cup of water, and now all the adults at this party think it's funny to be doing shots of liquor with me, getting me drunk. I do not even know how I got home. I woke up in my bed Saturday morning and puked from head to toe. I thought I had the flu. Was it the flu? No. I puked all day. I was in the toilet all day, okay? And by 6 in the evening, I wasn't throwing up no more. I started to feel a little bit better. I smell so bad. I gotta go take a walk, get some fresh air. Kids used to say, why didn't you just take a shower? Did you hear me say I didn't get a bathroom in my house until sophomore year of high school? The only shower was at school at the Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I needed to take a walk to get some fresh air. So I strolled through the neighborhood, and I happened to walk right by the same house where I got drunk. And Saturday night, they're having a bonfire party down behind the house, and the music's pumping. So I was like, I'm gonna go check this out. So I go back down there and I sit on a lot. I've learned how to light my own cigarette because I've been practicing with Dude's Lighter. And this kid hands me a beer. I was 11 years of age in 1975, sitting at a bonfire party on a log with a cigarette in one hand and a beer in the other. And the kid sitting right next to me, he's got this funny looking cigarette, like it was twisted up, like he rolled it himself or something. And I was like, what kind of cigarette is that? He said, here kid, why don't you smoke this? And I started smoking weed. I was 11 years old. Well, I was addicted to pills at 12. Not from a doctor, from the street, from kids. I was buying pills. On my 14th birthday, somebody put 2 white lines on a mirror, rolled up a dollar bill and said, here kid, this will make you feel really good. Well, I was addicted to cocaine at 14 years of age. That changed to heroin at 17. And 2 days after my 19th birthday, my best friend in the whole world, he gave me meth. And I shot heroin, cocaine, and meth for the next 10 years while I destroyed my life. I didn't want to destroy my life. I didn't want to go to prison. This wasn't on my bucket list. This happened because of my choices and my decisions. You know, all I had to do was stop lying. I lied to my parents. I lied to them all the time. I remember one time, my Uncle Mike, he broke his hand. In your hand, there's these bones called metacarpals. He broke these 3, the scar's still there. I was trying to hide it from my teachers in class. but teacher's got x-ray vision in the back of her head. It's unbelievable. So the teacher sees my hand through my shirt and brings me to the school nurse. And the school nurse is like, his hand is broken, he's got to go to the hospital. So I get to the hospital, and the ER doctor says, son, how did this happen? And I lied to that doctor's face. I said, I fell off my bicycle. My mom gets to the hospital, she's freaking out. She's like, oh my God, how did this happen? And the doctor said, he said he fell off his bicycle. And my mom goes, he don't have a bicycle. Yeah, Ma, it's one of my friend's bicycles. My mom looks me straight in the face and she goes, you don't have any friends. And she was right. I didn't have no friends. I beat them all up. Unfortunately, I was a very angry kid. I was a very bitter kid. But all I needed was the trusted adults in my life. And one of those trusted adults betrayed me, abused me. Two more of those trusted adults in my own family beat me. But all my godparents, grandparents, and neighbors, they would have helped me. All my coaches, my mentors, they would have helped me. I had a cop in our school. I don't think they called him school resource officer back then. But I had a cop in my school, and all that dude wanted to do was help me. And I thought all he wanted to do was harass me. I had a pastor. Every week he's trying to help me. I don't want to talk to him. That's my cousin Kareem. He stopped by our house every Sunday after church like clockwork. Hey, little man, your mom says you ain't doing too good. How can I help you? I'm fine, Reem. I'm fine. Leave me alone. Come on, kid. Let's go get some ice cream and talk about it. No! I hate ice cream! Look at his belly. You think I hate ice cream? I didn't hate ice cream when I was a kid. I told my cousin I hated ice cream because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk to him. Well, unfortunately, that's where I ended up. So, I got this expression, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. On that bracelet you'll get from these amazing kids right here, that number that's on that bracelet also says stay in your lane. I just want to remind you, bro, stay in your lane. You're 6th, 7th, 8th graders. You go to one of the best middle schools in New York. I promise you, all the opportunity in your life is being presented to you by these heroes. They come to work every single day. They're heroes. They should wear capes to work. They have everything you need to live your successful life. Then you get to this building, you get to this high school. There's more heroes over here, and they will help you. There's an amazing club in this building called SADD, and it ain't sad. It's SADD, Students Against Destructive Decisions. That's who they are. You should join that club. Where's all my 8th graders? One of the first things you should do when you get to this building is you join this club. Because this club does more than help their peers and help themselves. They're helping the community. Get involved in something positive. If you play sports, play sports. If you play music, play music. If you don't play music, learn how to play music. Get involved in positive things. But drugs and alcohol? Come on, man. There's 11 vapes right here. 11, 10, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 vapes right here. 10. Is there more vapes in this school, yes or no? Yes. The only, who said a lot? Who said a lot? Okay, a lot. I want kids to turn to vape. Here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow, the principal's getting vapes. Tomorrow, the counselor's getting vapes. Because 2 kids came up to me and said they don't have them on them, but they're going to throw them away. I said, well, why don't you make a step, bring it into school and hand it to the principal. Don't just throw it in the garbage. Give it to the trusted adult in the building. Because now you're making the action step. You're saying, you're speaking out loud that you want to end this. You want to quit. You don't want to do this anymore. Counselors are going to get more vapes. Kids are going to throw out vapes. Kids are going to throw vapes. Again, how many of y'all know a high school kid who's vaping? Okay. How many of y'all got a brother and sister that's vaping? Okay. How many of y'all know kids who vape because their brother and sister got them on it, turned them into it, like gave it to them? Yeah. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. And I'm asking you to make good choices. It's not just that I went to prison. I don't want you to go to prison, obviously. But I didn't just go to prison for 12 years. I got diagnosed with cancer twice. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, thanks to Almighty God. And that redhead right there. That's, oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, but Almighty God cured me from cancer. And he used this little redhead goddess right here. That's my wife. That is my amazing, gorgeous, unbelievable, smoking hot redhead wife. I'm in love with my wife. Oh boy. 31 years I've been married to that girl, and I love her more now than the day I met her. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. And I'm the worst thing that ever happened to her in her life. For 12 years, that girl came to a prison visit hall every Sunday for an hour to see her husband. You think that's the marriage she signed up for? My baby, my daughter was 5 when I went to prison. She was 17 when I came home. My son was 7 when I went to prison. He was 19 when I came home. I never saw his first catch, his first football, his first touchdown. He played football through high school, got a scholarship to West Virginia, played 3 games at West Virginia, and then walked out of college and went to the recruiter's office and joined the Army. He quit college on a scholarship and went to play with he went to serve. He went in the Army. But I wasn't there. I wasn't there to advise him. My daughter, we had a conversation a little while ago, and she was like talking about her prom. We were talking about prom, and she said, I remember my first prom. That's the first time I kissed a boy. I'm like, you kissed a what? I would have put a stop to that. But I wasn't there. I wasn't there. It wasn't fair to my girl. It wasn't fair to my son. It wasn't fair to my wife. Your future is determined on the choices and the decisions that you make right now. And I'm telling you, you don't just affect you. You affect your whole family. So this is my family. This is another picture of the Wonder Woman, the red-headed Wonder Woman. There's my hero. 7 tours he did, 7 tours on Iraq and Afghanistan. He's in the Army Reserves. That kid's my hero. And there's my little baby. Well, she's my 33-year-old little baby. She's not a baby. My kids didn't deserve what happened to them. And my choices and my decisions devastated my entire family. And I don't get that time back. And I sat in a prison cell trying to figure out how I was going to turn my life around. But when you turn around, there's a bar here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here, there's a bar, and that's it. How you got to turn it all around? You got to get a chance to get out. You got to get a chance. Well, I know some people who are probably never going to get out. They're never going to get another chance. And I go into the prisons and I talk to them. I go on death row in a lot of states. These men are going to be killed. They're never going to get out of prison. I meet people who have life without parole. They're never going to get another chance. This is why I do this. Because some of those people I can't help. But I can help you. If you make the best choices, the best decisions, and you learn from my mistakes. I need you to learn from my mistakes. Please, I'm begging you. Nobody thinks it's going to happen to them, and it all begins as a teenager. A teenager, that's where it starts. One of those teenagers that I couldn't get through to is this one right here. I show this picture to people. This is Victoria Siegel. She was like a niece to me. She's 16 in that picture. I show this to people and I say, hey, she like a drug addict to you? People are like, no. Well, she was. She was a full-blown drug addict. She's got an amazing family, too. When I say amazing, 7 brothers and sisters. And her parents are multi-billionaires with a B. Not that money means anything, because it don't. Okay? Having money is fine, but that doesn't prevent anything from happening. Multi-billionaires. Mom, Jackie Siegel, she's the queen of Versailles. She was discovered on Cocoa Beach, Florida at age 18, became an international supermodel. They just gave her a Broadway musical on Broadway, a story of her life. She was Mrs. Florida, Mrs. America, Mrs. World. Now she owns all 3 pageants. Her and her husband built the largest house in America. It is the largest residential property in the country, the Castle of Versailles in Orlando, Florida. And I did a documentary on the building of the house. And Discovery Plus turned it into a reality TV show. And right after season 1, they lose their 18-year-old daughter to an overdose of drugs. No one thinks it's going to happen to them. No one thinks it's going to happen to their family. The only way to end it is to prevent it from starting in the first place. The only way to end it is to prevent it from starting in the first place. And how many of you in this room know a kid who's never even touched a vape even one time in their life? And most of you are talking about yourself. How many of you know a kid who's never even sipped alcohol in his life, her life? How many of you know a kid who's never even done drugs, smoked weed in their entire life? And most of you are talking about yourself. So here you are. Make the best choices and the best decisions. Because drugs don't get you high anyway. Drugs don't get you high. I say that in prisons all the time, and the prisoners look at me like, what? Drugs don't get you high. What do you mean drugs don't get you high? Drugs get you temporarily high, and then the high's gone. And then you gotta get high again, and then that high's gone. And then you wanna get high again, and then that high's gone. It don't get you high. You know what gets you high? Puppies. That's what gets you high. Who's got dogs? Who's got dogs? Listen, how many of you kind of love your dogs more than like your own brothers and sisters? Right. How many of you have seen your dog do something and you roll it on the floor and crack it up, man? That's a natural high. How many of you guys got little brothers, little sisters? How many of you ever see your little brother, little sister do something just cracked you up, you couldn't even believe it, right? You ever see that video on YouTube where the kid's cracking up? The man tears a newspaper and the kid's like cracking up? Anybody ever see those videos on YouTube where the kids are laughing? And what do you do when you watch that? You laugh, you laugh. How about this? I don't know about you. Sometimes when I'm not editing and I'm sitting in my hotel room, I don't go on TikTok. Oh, disgusting. I don't watch reels. I watch golden buzzer moments on America's Got Talent. Anybody watch golden buzzer moments? Listen, man, if you're sad, something's going on in your life, all you gotta do is go on YouTube and put on golden buzzers, Simon Cowell, golden buzzers. And you watch these little kids, and that golden buzzer happens, and that gold confetti falls, and you feel better. You know, get high on natural things. Get high on music. I don't care what you say. Get high on Justin Bieber, baby. He's the bomb. Get high on music. Get high on Jesus, baby. Jesus will get you higher than anything. Get high on God, right? Get high on cheerleading. Where's all my cheerleaders? Who plays soccer? Get high on soccer. Get high on football. Get high on life. Drugs don't get you high. They don't. Drugs don't get you high. Get high on life. 90% of addiction begins as a teenager. The reason I came to talk to you today is because you're worth it. You're worth it. And I need you to get up every day starting tomorrow. I need you to get up every single day starting tomorrow and look in the mirror before you brush them teeth and say to yourself in your reflection, I am worth it. How many of you sometimes struggle with your self-worth? How many of you sometimes struggle a little bit with understanding that you're worth it? When you get up every single morning, you look in the mirror, you say, I am worth it, because you are. That's why these people come to work every single day, because they know what they're working on, they know that what they're producing is our future, and you are our future. And there's industries that want you and your money. They don't care about your future. They don't care about your life. So stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Today, how many guys are on Snapchat? How many guys are on Instagiggle? Oh, Instagram. How many are on TokTik? Oh, TikTok. Hashtag stay in your lane. I don't know if you guys can you guys beat Binghamton? Binghamton, New York? Can you beat Binghamton? They're in the lead right now in New York. We got more kids hashtagging stay in your lane from Binghamton than anywhere else. Can you guys beat Binghamton? What's that school up there? Frontier? Can you guys beat Frontier? Okay. A little bit of feelings here or what? They're your rivals? I'm going to Frontier. Hey. Oh, hold on. I got an idea though. I don't know if it's gonna work. You guys gotta tell me. I'm thinking about getting a Bulldog hoodie and walking into Frontier with my Bulldog hoodie. Do they have a cop there or just wanted to be sure or whatever? I might need a police escort. I'm walking into Frontier Falcons with my Bulldog hoodie on, yes or no? I'll let you know how it goes. I'll post it on Snapchat. Stay in your lane. If you're on social media, I want you to go to Snapchat, Instagram today. And I want you to follow us, Steered Straight. I'll put the QR codes up at the end. They'll be in your school. Go there because we're trying to get this thing go viral. We had these two girls in Orlando, and after the presentation, they went to a park for the weekend. I don't know what park. They're on a roller coaster. They're going up this roller coaster, and they take a selfie of themselves on the roller coaster going up the hill, and it says, we don't get high on drugs, we get high on roller coasters. We had this kid at Christmas put 12 Jordans around a tree, and he took a picture of it. He said, I don't get high on drugs, I get high on J's, Jordans, right? We had this kid in Kentucky, Barstow, Kentucky. I do not know how he got his horse to smile. His horse was smiling for real. And he took a picture with the smiling horse. He's like, I don't get high on drugs, I get high on horses. We had this kid find a vape in the parking lot of school. And he goes home, he plays hockey, right? And he went to the rink, and he's got this vape. He gets in his hockey uniform, he's got the mask on, he puts it up, and he's like, I found this in the parking lot of school. I don't get high on vapes, I get high on hockey. And he smashes it on a video and puts it on Instagram. That's what I'm trying to get done today. And I think that you guys can, there's going to be no way Frontier can even touch you with a 10-foot pole. I need you to do that today. Go online today, follow us, hashtag stay in your lane, hashtag I don't get high on drugs, I get high on something positive, right? So, remember who you are, and remember who it is that you want to become. Because success and failure is right in the palm of your hands right now, and everything in your life will come down to choices. If you are not giving 100%, now's the time. Now's the time to ask for help, to ask for extra credit, ask for extra help. If you don't understand math, you don't do less of it, you do more of it. If you don't like reading, you read more. If you're having problems in spelling, you get extra work. You just get through this. Because anything and everything they're teaching you, you can learn. And if you're struggling with something, I get it. I struggle with a lot. But I never ask for help. And if I ask for help, I'd achieve more success. So stay in your lane. Every single person in this room is capable of becoming whoever it is you want to become. But you guys got to start treating each other the way you want to be treated. Treating each other the way you want to be treated. No bullying in the school. And I can tell, this high school is unreal. The sense of camaraderie in this building. I did 678 schools last year. I've done 11,900 schools. This high school is one of the most amazing I've ever felt, ever, in 18 years. The people that care about each other, the way they talk to each other, and I hope it's that way at your school. I feel it is. But when you walk into this building, I'm telling you right now, get involved in positive things and absolutely look after each other and treat each other the way you want to be treated. So this banner right here says Stay Your Lane Challenge. And if you want to come down at the end and sign your name to it, what you're doing, if you sign it, is you're making a pledge. And if you don't get a chance to sign it here, it's going right back to your school. You can sign it tomorrow. It'll be in your school all day tomorrow. That's going to hang on the wall of your school. This is going to be a pledge you're making to yourself. Not me, not your school, not your parents. You're pledging yourself. You're going to pledge to never do drugs and alcohol. Your whole life. Now, if you change your mind when you're 30, I know the law says 21, but whoever came up with that age was an idiot. The brain's not developed until 25, 26, 27 years of age. Men's brain's developed at 60, my wife says. I'm not really sure, but the brain's not developed until you're in your late 20s. Late 20s, not 21. If you change your mind, you want to drink, okay? You become 30, you know? You want to smoke or vape, I hope you don't. You want to use marijuana, I hope you don't. But I hope you never do any of it your whole life. And if you choose to, wait till you're 30. But I'm begging you to at least make a pledge today. You won't touch it until you're 21. And most of you raise your hand that you've never even touched it now. So all you got to do is make the same choices and the same decisions for the next 10, 11 years. Don't touch it. So sign the banner if you want to. If you want to, I want you to make a pledge. Does anyone in this room feel that they can make a pledge and live their life drug and alcohol free? Awesome. So, here's what I want you to understand. Drug addiction is not about drugs. I know that sounds crazy. Drug addiction is not about drugs. Drug addiction is about the brain. And the three drugs I want you to look at differently than you ever have before is the three drugs you all laughed about when you raised your hand. Alcohol, nicotine, and marijuana. Alcohol is a depressant. It depresses the brain. But if you're a kid with an undeveloped brain, it depresses the development of the brain. Nicotine is a stimulant. Adults that use nicotine, it's a stimulant. It stimulates the brain. But if you're a kid and your brain's not developed, it stimulates the development of the brain. There's a difference. The THC, that's in marijuana. If adults use marijuana, I don't have an opinion. But if a kid uses marijuana, it hallucinates the development of the brain. So I don't want you not to vape or smoke weed or drink alcohol because you're not 21. I don't want you to touch these things because your brain's not developed. And you gotta wait till that happens. And if you do, the chances of you being addicted to drugs and alcohol is out the window. Almost impossible if you don't touch it until you're 30 years of age, but at the very least 21. So I made a video I'd like to share with you.
They said if I got drunk,
If I did coke,
I'd be one of the guys. They said meth would help me get through my exams.
They said sniffing glue was no big deal.
Totally safe.
I could party all night. They said heroin would be the best high I ever had.
It would help me forget my problems.
He said he'd love me forever if I smoked crack with him.
They said I wouldn't get hooked after the first hit.
They said that Ritalin would help me focus.
They said weed wouldn't leave you hard for drugs.
They lied.
He lied. Find out the truth about drugs.
Drugfreeworld.org.
Drugfreeworld.org.
The truth about drugs. See anybody in that video laughing? Did you see anybody in that video smiling? But they were all on drugs, but none of them were smiling. You know why? Because drugs don't get you high. Drugs is the biggest lie in the world. Drugs is the biggest lie in the world. Drugs don't get you high. I'm telling you, puppies get you high. Okay? Anybody got a cat? I don't know why you would, but all right. Just kidding. Cats are cool. Cats are cool. Listen, pets get you high. I don't care if goldfish get you high. Listen, natural things get you high. Minecraft sometimes will get you high, right? Xbox sometimes will high, right? Listen, man. The biggest lie you're being told is about nicotine, synthetic nicotine, vaping. It's a drug too. In 1994, Congress was sick and tired of tobacco lying to America, targeting kids. Big tobacco has targeted kids for 80 years. This is their strategy right here. And right in the middle of their strategy, target kids. So in 1994, Big Tobacco was summoned to Washington. Congress had these hearings on tobacco and health. And they put the top 7 tobacco executives at a table in front of the hearing committee, and this congressman started asking them questions. Listen to this first question the congressman asks the top 7 tobacco executives in America, but listen to their answers. Listen to this.
Yes or no? Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Congressman, cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction.
I don't believe that nicotine or our products are addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not.
Yes or no? Were they lying? Were they lying? They were lying to the American public, they were lying to Congress, and now they're lying to you. Except it's flavored mango now. Listen, Altria is the largest vaping company in the world. RJ Reynolds Vapor, second largest vaping company in the world. Altria is owned by China Tobacco, and RJ Reynolds is owned by British America. They're the 2 largest tobacco companies in the world. The 2 largest tobacco companies in the world own the 2 largest vaping companies in the world. This was not about helping people quit smoking. This was about hooking the next generation. This was about hooking you. And it's appalling that our federal government allowed it to happen. So, I took a vape apart in 2015. There's 3 parts in a vape. Every one in my pocket, there's 3 parts in a vape. If it's liquid, e-juice, there's a canister, a reservoir, or a pod or a cartridge takes its place, or there's an insert like inside of here. Part number 2 is a battery. Battery right in here, it's rechargeable at the bottom. Sometimes they blow up in people's faces. But the key to the vape is an atomizer. That's what it's called. It's a heating element. When you put a vape in your mouth, you take it in, you power the battery to heat the coils of the atomizer. And the atomizer takes the oil, the wax, the liquid, and it heats it up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's hotter than a butane lighter in through a cigarette. And it aerosols out of the device, and it aerosols into your respiratory system. When it goes into your lungs, it goes in as a volatile organic compound. Since 2015, I've been saying VOC, volatile organic compound, since 2015. That's what's in these devices. And everybody's like, what's a volatile organic compound? How many of y'all heard what happened in Palestine, Ohio last year where the train derailed? And all those chemicals take out of those tankers and went into the people's drinking water. How many of y'all heard that? What exited those tankers was volatile organic compounds, like ammonium nitrate, like benzene, like acetone, like toluene. Those are the same chemicals that are in these vapes, and kids are putting it into their body on purpose. And the federal government is allowing it to happen. So, they flavor these pens for a reason. You were the reason. There's over 7,000 vape flavors now. There's over 7,000 vape flavors. Listen, kids, this isn't for me. This is for you. They know they need to look good. So they made these pens look sleek. They made them look like little pens that you could wrap with sleeves. When Juul comes along, they make a 4-flavor starter pack, and they market it to middle school kids. How many of y'all ever heard of a Juul before? It was the #1 selling device in the world because they marketed it to middle school kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, a 4-flavor starter pack. Well, they got sued, they backed off, and Fuse becomes the #1 device in the world. And they made the first disposable called a Zero. Then they made something called a Puff Bar with over 100 flavors. How many of y'all ever seen a kid with a Puff Bar before? How many of y'all ever seen a kid with a Mr. Fogg before? How many of y'all ever seen a kid with a Lost Mary or a Kato or a Tyson? How many of y'all ever seen a kid with a Raz? How many of y'all ever seen a kid with a Elf Bar? There you go. So how about Breeze? Anybody know Breeze? How come they're making vapes that look like Slurpees? Anybody ever seen these? They're not targeting adults with that. They're targeting you with that. This is poison. I'm begging you, all these cartridges, all these pods, all these devices have metal. Every single time you put a vape to your mouth and you ingest, I don't care what it is, there's lead in it. How much lead safe for your lungs? None. How much lead safe for your blood? None. How much lead safe for your body? Hundreds of molecular particles of lead go into your respiratory system with every single hit. So, it's my friend Mark, a different Mark. I didn't tell you about Mark. This is my friend Mark. He's 27. He died from acute respiratory distress syndrome. He goes to the doctor at 26 years of age. The doctor says, Mark, you have bronchiolitis obliterans. Those are his 2 lungs. We made a chart because his family is suing the vaping company. Doesn't matter, they're not going to win. But anyway, we made a chart with his lungs. Those are his 2 left, his left and his right lung. The doctor says, Mark, if you don't quit vaping, you're going to die. And he didn't quit vaping. And he died 1 year later. Popcorn lung, have you ever heard of that? It's called acute respiratory distress syndrome. This is Daniel. Daniel got a double lung transplant at 17 years of age. He vaped for 18 months. He's 22, he lives in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. I'm sorry, he's 21. March 22nd is his 22nd birthday. He's in hospice. They don't think he's gonna make it. They don't think he's gonna make it. What is that, 2 days? So if he makes it, he won't make it longer after that. They give him 2 new lungs. The pods, the cartridges, the metal, the devices, he didn't listen. Some of you won't listen. Some of the high school kids won't listen. I get it. And some of you are listening, but you're not really hearing. Or maybe you're addicted. That's what your school nurse is for. That's what your counselors are for. Your counselors are superheroes. I'm telling you right now, go to them. If you don't get along with one, go to another one. This girl came up to me the other day and says, we have to see our assigned counselor. I don't get along with her. I get along with someone else. But if my name began with M to Z, I could go see her. I'm like, go to your principal and say, I want to see the other counselor. And guess what happened? The principal put her on the other person's case. Go ask for help. Marijuana in vapes? Oh my God. This is out of control. I went to a plant where they're making it. They got these 3-foot Pyrex tubes, right? They fill it with marijuana. And then they blast chemical through. This is how they make it. They blast chemicals through to burn through all the plant matter. And then this is what comes out the other side. That's dab, shatter, THC carts. That's what's in it. Butter, wax, shatter. They give it stupid little names. It's full of chemicals. It's full of chemicals, okay? So, they give it stupid little names. And they tell people it's just weed. It's just marijuana. It's not. That's not marijuana. How about this? This is not crystal meth or crack. That's THC weed. That's crystal weed. They're putting it in edibles. They're putting it in edibles. This kid comes up to me in Mississippi, and he's got these 4 edibles in a bag. And he opens up his drawstring bags and he hands me all 4 of these things. I was like, these are yours, bro? He said, well, I'm selling them. You're selling them in school? Well, until today, you scared me. I said, what do you mean I scared you? I don't want to be the one that sells an edible to another kid in my school and he gets rushed to the hospital because you know he's going to tell the principal where he got it. So you're giving it to me because you don't want to get in trouble. He's like, well, kinda, but I don't think I want to sell these anymore. I said, good, don't. If you want to sell candy at school, sell peppermint patty, I'd buy one from you right now. sell Snicker bars, Biscuiteers, Twix, sell candy, don't sell edibles. This is crazy. This is going to lead to the destruction of your life. When you got to 5th grade in that elementary school, you got to the top. Then you come to 6th grade, where are you? The bottom. You get to 8th grade, you're at the top. You come to this school, you're 9th grade, where are you? Bottom. You get to high school senior, you're at the top of the hill again. You go to college, where are you? The bottom. Hey man, life's a process. Life's a process. You got to crawl before you walk. You are all in the middle school chapters of your life, but you hold the pen. It's your life. So many of you raised your hand when I asked you how many of y'all been through some tough stuff in your life. If you're going through tough stuff, that's what she's for. That's what she's for. I'm telling you right now, they've all been through crap. You wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't even believe it. Ask for help. Don't be like me. Don't make my mistakes. Listen, man, it's the most important time of your life. I would do anything. How many of you ever seen that movie, Back to the Future? Man, if I had a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, oh my God, 88 miles an hour, baby, I'd be a 6th grader right here in this school. I wish I could go back and do it all again. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Most adults wish we could go back and do it again. Not because we're getting close to the end and we want to just start over. No, we want to go back and do things better. You can learn from my mistakes. Please, I'm begging you. Connect. Sports ain't for everyone. Sports ain't for everyone. But connect through whatever you need to connect through because you got to be successful. Successful. How many of y'all seen this picture before? This is the #1 viral picture in the entire world. This kid was on the Jersey Shore one summer and he was eating sand. And his mom thought that was so funny, so she took that picture of him. It went viral. So I put the word successful over his head because you got to be intense. Listen, man, maybe spring break happened already or is coming up? Coming up? Listen, you want to do something good for spring break? How many of you guys ever watched Shark Tank on TV? So Damon John from Shark Tank is a friend of mine, and he helped me write this curriculum. You want to do something over spring break that will change your life? It's 8 chapters. How many of y'all want high school to be easier? I can't say it's going to be easy. It will be easier if you do this. This is 167 pages of a powerful curriculum on my website. It'll absolutely change how you look. How many in this room have dreams? How many of y'all want your dreams to come true? I can't guarantee it, but what I can guarantee, and you're more likely to have your dreams come true, if you take this, it's on my website, all your teachers will have it. It's on our social media. It's called Success for Teens. If you follow us on Snapchat, here's what I'm going to do today. Man, I feel so amazed by you guys. I'm going to do 2 things I don't do usually. Now, #1, if you go on Snapchat, Instagram today, or TikTok, you go on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok today, you follow us, and you post something that says, I get high on something natural instead of drugs, I get high on Jesus, I get high on music, I don't get high on drugs, I get high on cheerleading, I get high on algebra, baby. Get high on algebra. Yeah, algebra. Algebra changed your life now. Oh, I know. Algebra changed your life. I used to be like, why are they putting letters and numbers? It's stupid. Anybody else feel that way? Yeah. Guess what? My math teacher says, money is math. Money is math. I'm like, I love math. I love math. If you put something today, you tag us. I gotta keep it. This is Hamburg Middle School. Okay. You tag us, not, right? No, this is Hamburg Middle School. If you tag us and you post something, I don't get high on drugs, I get high on something natural, I will pick 10 people tonight and we will send out a gift box. It's like $60, $70 gift box full of stuff, and I'll put a $10 Walmart gift card in there too. I will pick 10 people today. If you get high on something natural and you voice your opinion about how you felt about this, who thinks this was worth their while to attend to? Anybody? Who thinks I should go to, what's it called, Fairmont? What's the school? Frontier. Who thinks I should go to Frontier with this message? Who thinks I should wear a bulldog hoodie at the Frontier? And listen, the last thing I'm going to offer you, I got 10 vapes. I don't want to walk out of this room with only 10. If you got a vape in this pocket, not only am I going to be proud of you, but I have a card, and it's got a QR code on it. And if you give me a vape, I'll give you a card. And you scan that code, and you get a $10 Walmart gift card with a package. it's got a package with a $10 Walmart gift card. I will give 10 cards away for people who post on social media, and anybody who comes up and gives me a vape, I will give you a package with a $10 gift card in it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you.